Steven Schwartz is the 26-year-old CEO and co-founder of Whop, a tech startup worth over $1 billion. In this video, I walk around the Whop headquarters and give you guys an inside look into how a Gen Z unicorn tech company is successfully run. And you'll also see why so many people compare Whop to the early days at Facebook. Steven also shares his secrets, like how he built a tech startup that investors are begging to invest in. I'm Joseph Abacera, this is Inside the HQ, and let's get right into it.
This is our office. This is like the lobby area. We painted these like the first day we were in the office. We have like our homepage up. This is this is Eng Squad right here.
Tell me what this is.
This is engineering squad. It's like super locked in focus area for all the really high.
Why would somebody like there's a really important product that needs to get launched? So you send them in here and they just like log in like the cave.
That's like the max focus area in the office.
Wow, love that. Okay.
This is Sharky.
You're one of the co-founders as well, correct?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome.
I sit here mostly.
Would you say this is your office right here?
Yes, I think so.
This is where you spend most of your time, right?
Yes.
Amazing. And why did, like, out of curiosity, why don't you choose to like get one of these private rooms or whatever? You have all these, beautiful private rooms over here. Why choose here?
I think it's kind of like I much prefer to be in the work and doing the actual work. Like it's much more fun to be in the thick of it than sitting in like a different area. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's Cam. We do a lot of design sessions in here, a lot of whiteboarding. Yeah. So these are just random conference rooms, oxygen tank, iteration room.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, we tried to name all of the rooms after something kind of cool. So like we really value iteration, and we call that room the iteration room. We used to have all these oxygen tanks that people can get oxygen from, so we call it the oxygen.
People would like while they're in there, you're like breathing oxygen, waiting for like the good ideas to flow.
Exactly. Just a general area people can kind of sit. Maybe like some of our account management and customer success. And finance, operations, things like that.
You keep them together on purpose, like finance sits with finance, engineers are with engineers?
Yeah, for sure. We try to mix and match, like from a go-to-market and engineering perspective. It's good for everybody to have the right context, but for the most part, I think if you're working on finance, you probably want to work on a little bit of working on finance. So yeah, totally.
And why would somebody, like out of curiosity, why would somebody love working at Whop? I mean, I see all this food over here. You're obviously giving them lunch.
I think you got to really love the mission and really want to fulfill what we're trying to do, which is make everybody money. So I think people mostly come from an entrepreneurial background. They used to have a company of their own. They grew up selling things online, and now it's just like really satisfying to get to build for yourself. So I think that's like got to be reason number one. Reason number two, I think, is because the people that we have working with us are really funny and fun and energetic, and I think there's a lot to learn from everybody. So
definitely
add to that, and we'll lunch most.
Why are you in? Curious, why did you choose William?
So I went to NYU, and I've been in New York, and I think that like Williamsburg versus Manhattan. Manhattan's is pretty distracting, honestly. It's hard to focus there. I lived there for 4 years, and I think that we wanted to just have like our own little bubble, and I think it's a lot of people live across the street. I think it's a little bit tighter knit community in Williamsburg, and why not like SF? I think SF's pretty sterile. I think that New York, you have the culture, you have the art, you have a lot of music, and I think that that's an important part if you're trying to build a consumer product. So that's
more inspiring.
Yeah.
Very smart, man. And dude, this is like well designed. I don't know if you guys designed it, you guys hired a designer.
Yeah.
But like, first of all, did you guys design this? Did it come like this? How did it come?
It came empty, like nothing. We had to put everything in. But that was a pretty cool, crazy process. Someone on our team, Chloe, just went at it for like a long while. And since then we've gone through pretty massive iteration. Like this is maybe new as a week ago. This couch used to be a different place. We do town halls right here. We have a TV of some of our important stats. Maybe blur that out.
Blur that one out.
And yeah, we have. So this is our first one of our first customers, Stellar AIO, and that's one of our first customers also, Haven, the Haven.
Wow.
So we named a couple conference rooms after them.
That's beautiful.
And then let me see if it's kind of show. Can I give us a quick tour of this? This is like the marketing layer.
I know some of these guys.
Yes, this is like where all the creativity happens, and I mean, it's a pretty sick room. We got like a popcorn machine. We used to have like a big TV here. I'm actually not really sure what happened to that. Yeah, we had a massive one. Now we have two. But yeah,
So this is like you guys are like, this is where you're producing your own content, which is going out. Where is it being posted?
all channels. Whop, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah.
I noticed that, was it Cameron or was it you who had a really viral video go out about like, it was a
Hawk Tua?
Yeah, the Hawk Tua. Cameron. Yeah, so it was Cameron, right?
Yeah.
And that was I mean, that was smart. Was that shot over here?
Shot right here.
Wow. So you guys are doing your own, grassroots, like on the ground marketing videos and content like out there.
Yeah.
Really smart. Okay. All right, amazing. I'll turn the lights off. You guys, I see that you guys like lights off in this place, so. All right.
All right, then I'll show you in here. We have this other room.
Well, if there's like still on sheet.
What's up? So we have like this room for when creators come visit. We have like maybe little workshops and luncheons in here sometimes, but we've repurposed it recently to just like a separate workroom, I guess. I don't know. This is just an ancillary room. We have a cool music studio. We have like a piano.
This is another company, Database? Is that?
Oh, sorry. Can I just quick tour. We got like a piano and guitar in case you want to play music. This is not another company. This is
So this is not work related. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna come in. This is not work related. This is the music room is just.
I mean, it's definitely work related right now. Yeah, we love the tool. Let's go.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's for, what's it called? It's for you mean you built that for pleasure, like somebody?
I mean, it's just like if people want to play music, a lot of people play instruments in the office, and if you're doing a bunch of work and just want to take a break and go play piano, go for it.
Okay.
That's why this used to be the podcast room, and now it's like a storage room. So nothing too crazy. We have our photo wall that we used to use a lot, but I think we've had to expand into this because our other office is getting too full. But people used to come and take pictures and write their name on the wall.
Are these guests or are these employees?
Some mix of both, but mostly guests, I think.
Yeah, big corner. I mean, I'm seeing some people over here. This is dope, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Little focus rooms. Yeah, cool.
That's our 24-hour-a-day live stream right there.
What does that mean, 24-hour-a-day live stream?
Yeah, this thing called Genius Bar that people can go and get help whenever they want on our platform, and they can just tune into the live stream, and Diego there will help them. So
how often is he? So he's customer support. I mean, not 24 hours. He has to sleep.
Yeah, so there's a rotation that they have, but it should be live most of the day, if not 24 hours a day.
A customer can get 24/7 support from a human.
Yeah, from a human. There's like multiple people. There's probably 30, 40 viewers at any given time, and it's like you can sign up for an account and just immediately go into the room and get help and ask questions, ask the
many answers.
And he's on the stream, yeah. So she brings you up onto stage, and everybody can have a nice conversation.
Is that a concept you came up with? Is this like something you saw from somebody else? You got inspired from?
Apple came up with this.
Apple came up. All right.
Smart.
All right, amazing. And then what's your favorite? I mean, do you have a favorite part? Like, is this like, oh, this is my like favorite part of the whole entire? Is it the kitchen? Is it like?
No, it's probably the back room or the engineering room. That's the best. That's the best room.
And what do you spend your most time there? Is it by your desk or is it in that room?
I would say like I used to spend most of my time just working like 1-on-1 or 1-on-3 or 4 with engineers, designers, or marketing and people, all of it. So I hop around, but usually out on the floor and maybe in the engineering room too.
First of all, where did you grow up, bro? That's just like a random question.
Yeah, so I was born in San Francisco for a year, and then I lived in Honolulu, Hawaii for a few years, and then my parents moved us to Fort Worth, Texas, and then I went to middle school in Springfield, Illinois, like a really tiny town in Midwest, and then I went to Chicago for high school. So I moved around a lot, and wow. Then I came to NYU, so I grew up all over the place. My parents sent me to China when I was little to live with a village, and I'm very grateful for my upbringing. So I think, to answer your question, I moved around a lot.
You lived alone in a village in China?
With a family in China, like a random host family. Yeah.
How old were you? And how old were you?
I was maybe 13 or 14.
How long were you there for?
Like a few months, 3 months maybe.
What was your biggest takeaway from that?
Speaking Mandarin. Maybe, I think, just like being in a completely different environment and understanding the perspective that people in the world have that most people probably don't get, especially if I'm just going to grow up in one town in the United States, it's like your perspective is somewhat limited. So my biggest takeaway is one, Mandarin, and two, I think just like seeing what it's like in a completely different part of the world and how they run their life, right? Like they wake up and they cook their meals, they raise their own animals and get their own water and go to the market and trade for cash or other goods. And I think it was just super cool to have that. So no phone, no internet at all for a long period of time, which I wasn't so happy about at the time, but I think looking back, it's a super awesome experience.
Yeah, so especially as an engineer, meaning like the dichotomy of that, it's like living in the internet versus like real life. You know, that's really cool. Yeah. And then, okay, how much money have you guys raised so far, and what is the company worth right now?
So we raised $70 million total, and a little more. And the company right now is worth, we raised close to $1 billion last year. This a little bit like a little less than a year ago. So since then we've maybe tripled our business. So you can kind of do the.
You raised $70 million at close to $1 billion valuation.
Not all of that was at the $1 billion valuation, but a substantial portion of that was a little more than 50, and about a little under $1 billion, and then that was almost a year ago. We've 3x since then. So if we were to raise right now, it'd probably be a couple billion.
It would be a couple billion.
Just off the multiple, yeah, based on where we last raised.
Yeah, I mean, so like the next question is like, how much revenue has the business done so far?
I don't know. I think we have a counter on our website to show how much money the volume has been, and I think we just crossed $1 billion last week. Now we're at like a 1,020 million maybe, and we have a public pricing model, so people can do the math if they want.
How old were you guys when you first started Whop, and how old are you now?
I was 22 when I first started. Let me think. We were 22, 21, and 21. My two co-founders and I, respectfully, and I'm 26 now.
It's amazing. You guys first started as a sneaker marketplace for bots. How many times did you guys pivot before landing on the current business model?
I grew up and I met Cam when we were 12 or 13 years old, and I think we were both really into sneakers. So all the kids at our middle school and later high school loved shoes. So we needed to figure out a way to get the shoes before they sold out. And Cameron was like a big kingpin in these Facebook communities, probably one of the biggest resellers in the Midwest, I guess. And that's where we got our start programming and building businesses. So I guess 10 years after we met, we really started Whop. And I think during COVID, everybody really was into the whole reselling thing, and sneakers were becoming a little bit more mainstream around how you can actually make money online, reselling not only sneakers, but PS5s and heaters during COVID and GPUs during the shortage. And I think it was more about selling software. So like the niche we were in is sneaker bots, but what we allowed people to do was deliver desktop software and receive payment for it in a really structured way. And that was Whop V1. And I think pretty quickly people asked to sell other types of things. It wasn't just software that they wanted to sell, and we started to build that out for them. But I think at our core, we've always kind of enabled people to accept payments for some type of digital service or product or software.
So you know Cameron since he's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Are you guys like, did this affect your friendship at all? Or like, what's going on here?
I mean, I think we were like very, very close. And I think it's really important to build businesses with people that you really, really love. And I think that's what makes Whop really fun is that we get to work with people that we really love working with. And Cam and I and Sharky have a really interesting relationship. It's like it's somewhere in the middle between like best friends, marriage, and then like super ruthless business, because we all obviously want to we have pretty high ambitions. So I think it works, and it's really fun to work with them. It's definitely intense at times, but I mean, if it wasn't, then I don't think we'd be doing anything cool.
Well, how many employees do you have, and what are the different positions they have?
So I think we have like 70 or 80 people, and I look at the overarching group as we have a product group, so that's everything engineering, design, making product decisions, and we have a go-to-market group, and then we have finance, operations, and people functions as well. So I spend most of my time on the engineering front, but that's how we break down the team.
Is hiring people as hard as they say? Because that's like the most important role. You're the CEO of the company, right?
Right.
So that's the most important role as CEO, is hiring people. How's that been, dude?
I mean, I think I've learned so much about people in general, and I think hiring, like the whole company is just a product of what all the people are doing, and I think if you don't have people that are passionate and understand the business and can make really good decisions on their own, then you're going to have a lousy company. So I agree that it's probably the biggest part of my role is to make sure that our team is pretty awesome. So yeah, I've learned so much, and it's difficult, right? It's difficult to convince people to stop what they're doing and go all in on something that we have going on. So I agree with you. It's very difficult. I mean, I think we've gotten a lot better. There's a pretty wide range of different types of people that thrive in different roles, and I think we're getting better every time we make a hiring decision.
Dude, when I walked in, bro, the first thing I noticed is these are young people, bro. Okay. How old is the average employee? I mean, that's obviously like a little, vague, but how old are these guys?
I mean, it's a big range. I don't know everybody's age, but I think it's we have a lot of people that dropped out of high school and college and have come joined our team. So we have a lot of like really young people, 20, 21, 19 years old, and we also have some senior people too who have been in places and seen some of the problems that we deal with and that we're going to deal with. So it's a good mix. I don't know the average, maybe like 24. 20, 25, I'd say. It's definitely a young squad.
Dude, dropped out of high school. You guys are taking them early, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think education's changing. I went to college. I graduated. My co-founders didn't. One of them dropped out of high school. One of them dropped out of college. And I think that the reality is the high school and college are really awesome to meet people. But other than that, you're going to kind of learn a lot more in the real world. So if I could go back and do it again, I would love to be in a situation 21 years old in this ride right now. It'd be so cool. So yeah.
And dude, company culture.
Yeah.
Right? You have these guys, I mean, tell me what time they're coming in and tell me what time they're leaving.
We don't have any set hourly things, but I think it's important to build something that is fun, right? So I think people have a lot of fun building on our platform, and it helps that everybody is kind of like a user of our platform, right? So we have a motto that's like, be your own customer. And I think because of that, it drives a lot of ambition and excitement around doing the actual work. So if the work wasn't fun, then that'd be a problem, right? So I think, I don't know what time people come in. People come in maybe anywhere from 9 to 10 a.m. and sometimes stay till maybe 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., right? It's a pretty large range. And I think if you're working on a cool project and you want to get it out, then it's really fun to finish it out and do something really cool that you actually get to use yourself when it's in production.
If you had to describe Whop in a single sentence, what would it be?
Social media site, but with commerce at its forefront. And that means it's basically like a mix of Shopify and Stripe, but then you have all the engagement functionality that you'd see on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. So I think we've tried to blend what the platforms are that we used when we were younger to start internet businesses and put it all into one tightly integrated solution where you can accept payments and you can host all your content, deliver value via software and so on. And of course, find customers, because that's obviously the most important part of every business.
I'm so curious to hear a little bit about your go-to growth strategy for adding users to Whop.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it all starts with knowing that we come from a background of building all these internet businesses. It's like we sit in a room all day and whiteboard out what is the most effective way to make people money on the internet. And when we come up with a new solution, we'll talk directly to all these customers and make sure that it's perfect fit for them and that they really like it. And then when they come on, and it's pretty it's a pretty compelling product to tell your friends about, right? Because I'm making all this money on this platform. You should try it if you're a customer. So I think there's a lot of good virality around what we're doing, and I think it's grown somewhat organically without a lot of marketing spend. I think we're just now starting to ramp up a lot of marketing, and that's getting pretty fun. Our brand awareness is going up quite a bit. More people than ever know about Whop. But I'd say it's it starts with the product and how are we building a product that lends itself really well to grow, and that's probably the best way I could answer your question.
No, that's great. I mean, so you're from what I understood from your answer, you're telling me that because the product is so compelling and so useful for certain people, especially creators, I would say, that when they hear that they can make money and they're not making up Facebook's not paying them money, they automatically gravitate towards your product.
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, there's like what you can like V1 creator economy is like things like Kajabi and things like Patreon, and I think that those were like really awesome ways for the normal consumer to accept payments. But at a certain point, they don't necessarily have the tools right now. So I think it's a platform like Whop is really exciting for people. And this is just, I mean, if you start a business, right, you have to get customers, and as those customers see what people are doing, it's a pretty awesome loop where they go and want to start businesses themselves too, and that's what we see a lot. I mean, when we started, we didn't just randomly have a one day wake up and say let's start a business. Like we saw a lot of people starting businesses when we were younger, and I think we tried to mimic them and take lessons from them. So our growth strategy is very much let's create a lot of value for people and see how they can go and broadcast our message out.
What was the most challenging time and difficult challenge you guys faced while building the company?
I think every single day is the biggest challenge. Like it just gets incrementally harder every single day. And I mean, right this second, I think we're dealing with a lot of difficulty on how do we design a product that does so much and keeping it really simple. I think that's our number one problem right now. And that's definitely the hardest problem that we've had to deal with. When we were starting out, I mean, our website would go down and we had no idea what to do. We had no idea how to support different regions and payments wise. There's been so many issues. And I think people have, as we have grown, there's a lot of people that will try to take advantage of us and maybe just try to, I guess, disrupt our operation. And I think that's always a challenge, is just like trying to synthesize all the noise out there. But yeah, I think every single day is like incrementally harder. And right now, the design thing is probably the biggest challenge that we've had.
Nice. I mean, dude, as like a, you know, I have a background in startups. Yeah. I could tell you that for sure. I'm like your core customer. Right. And I'd say that the design, you know, there's like a layer of like investing a learning curve to get past the design. But once you get past it, it's an incredible product. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about simplifying Discord, right? Right. To a certain degree. Totally. Which Discord is already you love that shit, but like the average person has an anxiety attack. So like when you guys figure that out, dude, I can imagine what we're talking about. That's
right, and that's what we're all very excited about. I mean, it's really crazy because like we have so much functionality and so many cool ways to make money on the platform, and I think it's just a matter of time until we bring all that out to the front and get it into 1 or 2 clicks away from the users, while balancing all of our existing power users who really love all the complexity and not trying to alienate them is very difficult as our user base grows. So those are some of the problems we're dealing with right now, and very fun, but very hard, and that's, yeah.
What was the most rewarding point?
I think we try to stay really level-headed and not try to go through so many like it's hard to like peak at these at different points. And I think we're so forward-looking that every single day there's so many cool stories that people have about how they've used Whop. And I mean, we've been looking at our internal forums and our like we have a couple customer focused facing Whops and listening to what people have to say in there is like so rewarding, and looking at how people have earned money in random countries for selling super cool products is the most rewarding part of all this. And I think every day that the stories just get more and more. And when someone tells us that they sold out their entire inventory on a new product launch because of a product that we've built, that's really, really rewarding. And I mean, coming from a background of building a bunch of businesses, I know that the pain points people have, and I'm just so happy that we're solving some of them. We can do a lot better, and I think we'll get there. But it's the most rewarding piece is just hearing all the stories from customers, and that happens every single day.
Do you have any advice for anybody who wants to raise money for their startup? Right?
Yeah. I would say, like, if you wake up and you're like, I really aspire to raise money for my startup, like, you're probably not doing something that is worth raising money for. I would focus on everything except for raising money if you're trying to raise money. And I would also double click on pushing people to not make the goal about raising money. That's certainly not our goal. It's not about how much money we've raised. You actually don't want to raise a lot of money. I think that's actually not really in the best interest of the company. So I would just focus on everything that is not about raising money, and the money will come.
Interesting. Meaning people just like, I'm assuming you had people running at you, emails, LinkedIn messages, whatever, people running to get you guys money, right?
Yeah, definitely, like all day long.
Still till today.
For sure. Our inboxes are pretty flooded with investors. I think the more heads down we go on product and the more we build and the more we grow, the investors aren't going to all of a sudden stop reaching out. But if we were to say, hey, like let's go focus on trying to raise money, it's like, well, then we're not focusing on growing the business or building a really cool product. So my advice to people that want to raise money is figure out your priority and like nail the things that actually matter, and then the money will come.
Thanks for watching this video, and because you've watched this far, my bet is that you are going to love the future videos that we have coming up. So hit those like and subscribe buttons because it'll help you and I stay connected, and it'll just help the video get more seen. And of course, peace and much love.